Welcome back to T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass. Welcome to my first ever bonus episode. Just ran out of time slots on Wednesdays leading up to the IBMA. So this is T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass, first ever bonus episode. We've got Thomas Cassell returning. Some of you, my longtime listeners, might remember Thomas Cassell from my first interview in season 1. I believe it was my second or third. I think it was my second episode ever. And he's coming back for more. I didn't scare him off. Hopefully I'm a little more polished this time around. But initially, this episode was going to be dropped on the 24th of September. And 10 minutes into it, when I realized we were talking so much about IBMA, and it's hard not to, especially in my world right now, said, screw it. We're going to have a double episode. And then technically, since this episode was scheduled for the 24th, the Wednesday after IBMA, I'm going to take that week off. Re-entry is hard. It's very difficult. So enjoy this bonus episode with Thomas Cassell, where we talk about what's going on in his career, the Woodbox Heroes, the band that he joined earlier last year, actually, and, of course, the IBMA. Thanks so much. Thomas, welcome back to T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Man, I'm stoked to have you here. There's so much going on in the bluegrass world, and kind of a neat little segue intro, I'll say. You were my very first interview for T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass in season 1.
That's right.
You're, I hate to say it, kind of my guinea pig, but I'm honored that I didn't screw it up enough that you're willing to come back again. You are also my first returning guest. So,
okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This whole season I've been talking about IBMA. IBMA is coming up, and I want to get into a lot of what's going on in the world of Thomas Cassell, but kind of maintaining the theme. So IBMA, I'm assuming you've been to the IBMA previously, both maybe as a professional and a fan. What's your history of IBMA?
I've actually only ever been professionally, just because it was kind of far away from where I grew up. Even any of the past locations would have been far from where I grew up, but especially Raleigh was like 5 hours. So when I was a teenager and playing, we didn't go. It was just it was a ways. But the first year I went was 2016, so that'll be 9 years ago, and I've played it every year. Obviously, they missed in 2020 and did like a virtual thing, and I still participated. I think did some kind of virtual showcase or something for that year, but every year that they've had it since 2016, I've been in some professional capacity.
Well, and I'm glad that you've had experience in the professional capacity, because of all the things we've talked about IBMA this season so far, it's all been the bands that are playing, and of course your band is participating.
Yeah.
But what I want to kind of ask, nobody's really talked about the gig fare, the professional aspect of IBMA, the classes, or not classes, but classes perhaps. Tell me a little bit about the inside participation aspect of the IBMA that at this point we haven't really spoken about.
Sure. Well, I'll preface that with the fact that I do go in a professional capacity every year, but I would say for 3 or 4 hours a day, I'm a professional. And for the other however many 10 or so hours, I'm just totally a fan at IBMA, because you're walking around and you're seeing everybody, and everybody's playing shows, whether it's like my buddies or my heroes or whoever. I'm going to hear music and doing all that. And that's kind of my favorite thing about it, is I get to work and I get to feel like, okay, I'm here for work. But you're only doing that for a few hours a day. The rest of the time you're just seeing amazing things and catching up with people and getting to meet new people. But yeah, no, IBMA is great. It's such a social thing. It's like the one time of the year that everyone sees everyone in the industry. Like, throughout the year,
everybody stop what you're doing. A bluegrass holiday week almost.
Basically, it's the big old family reunion almost. Because, you'll see some friends at a festival or something, and even then you see them for an hour if you're lucky. But IBMA, it's like, okay, we're all here all week. We don't have to travel every day. We're all right here. And it's really fun every year, and you just get to catch up with people. And
are you staying downtown? Are you going to be walking distance to everything?
Yeah, I'll be right down there. and I'm
Because
excited for it
it
to be in
sounds as
Chattanooga.
though it doesn't shut down, really.
Oh,
I
no, it
mean,
never
it's "I've
does.
been mostly awake" is the
Yep,
tagline. You
and
you
I
stay
mean,
up all night.
I personally try to go to bed around, at the very latest, like 2 a.m. when I'm at IBMA, assuming I have to be up at 8 or 9, like, be somewhere at 8 or 9, at a panel or some kind of luncheon or something, but there will be people just jamming. Basically, there will be people jamming until people wake up and have breakfast, and then those people start jamming. There's just gonna be continuous music, and that's how it's been every year.
Just pass the baton.
Pretty much. Yeah, there's all-night crews, and especially, like, when it gets to the last couple nights, because the conference is only during the week, the business part of it, and then, some people, and myself included this year, we're gonna be there, like, for the conference, like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you have to go play shows on the weekend. That happens a lot. I'd say most often in the past that's been the case for me, but sometimes you get lucky and you're off that weekend and you just get to hang out around IBMA, or maybe you play the street festival, and that's when you really get to hang out a lot and jam and stay up all night. For some of us that are having to do more work during the week, you really get to do the late night jamming and everything on the weekends.
But you get a second win frequently. I'm sure coffee
Mhm.
is your friend,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's a lot of it.
Yeah, there was
So
actually a coffee shop in Raleigh. I'm gonna have to find somewhere in Chattanooga because there was one of those kinda coffee shops that turns into a bar. It doesn't close at 3 PM, it just turns to a bar at 3 PM. But
that's a great
they
idea.
still have, like, you can go in there and get a cocktail, but also you can still get, like, an espresso. And there was one like that in Raleigh. I'm gonna have to find somewhere in Chattanooga because I used to go in Raleigh at, like, 10 PM and go
Twice a
get a
day.
coffee. Yeah. I'd go, like, well after dark and, I'll have, like, double shot espresso.
That's
And then
awesome. And they
then
had
you're
bar hours, so it was probably open
yeah.
until 1 in the morning or
Yep,
yeah.
it was, yeah.
Nice,
But I'm
nice.
sure we can find somewhere in Chattanooga to get coffee after dark.
Trying to think. Yes, I'm certain probably a lot of the bars and
Yeah,
restaurants are gonna be serving coffee until the wee
yeah,
hours because yeah, it'll
I'm
be a
sure.
popular demand.
Yeah.
We just danced around it briefly.
Mhm.
The luncheons, the workshops, that was the word I was looking for, not classrooms,
Oh, yeah,
workshops. The
yeah,
Tell me about what happens during the conference? What is a professional
sure.
as in a professional capacity, did you have a plan in place when you went? Did you have a schedule all worked out? I want to be part of this. I want to be part of that. I got to
Usually
make sure I hit
so.
the luncheon, whatever the case may be. Kind of tell me
Yeah.
about that part of IBMA.
I love doing the luncheons, and there's a luncheon every day. I normally only catch the Momentum Awards luncheon, which historically has been Wednesday, and sometimes I'd catch the Industry Awards, which is on Thursday. But Thursday is when the big award show is at night, and historically, like, Thursday, I've had to kinda be a little less present during the day because of the award show at night or because of more showcases that night. But I always love going to the Momentum Awards, especially because it's, like, a lot of my buddies that get nominated for that in whatever category, so you get to sit with your friends and watch them win awards, which is fun, and it's a lot more casual than the award show. You're usually all sitting in a ballroom around some tables and having lunch. But the panels are great too. You get a big schedule, and you just have to choose what's your priority because there's so many, you can't catch them all. Um, but there's all
What
these
are some examples of that you would a panel involvement?
There's everything. Historically, there's been panels, like, about songwriting, about, like, finances and how to do accounting for a band or how to finance being a professional musician or professional artist. It's a lot of business tools and industry conversation type topics. I haven't looked at what this year is. I actually used to be on the education committee that would go through the submissions and kinda choose and delegate those panels. It
Is
was
there
a
anything
challenge
that
every
you
year because there were a lot of great submissions and a lot of things that would run together that were almost the same topic, and we'd have to kinda choose one or narrow it down to kinda one concentrated thing.
can you think of one of your panels or workshop type environments at IBMA in the past where a subject or maybe a specific question or topic came up and
Oh,
you were
yeah.
just mind blown. Why didn't I think of that? Oh my gosh, that's genius.
Yeah.
And immediately applied it to your career.
Well, yeah. So I've never actually been on any of the panels. I've organized them, which usually means that I was just calling other people, and I would check in, make
But
sure they had what
even
they needed.
attending,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Well,
yeah,
I remember in 2019, attending one that was, like, about basically how to use social media. And social media had definitely been around in 2019, but it that was still 6 years ago. It's very different. It's kinda compounded now. But, I took a lot away from that and really, really restructured how we were doing things, on socials for Circus Number 9 around that time. But kind of the irony of that is all those tools and ideas that I got kind of became irrelevant after, like, 5 months because of COVID, which totally
yeah.
changed the social media, internet, music platform, everything like that. So, it did give me a lot to work with, but it was very short-lived. But that was still one of the most impactful ones. And they've done kind of follow-ups. They did a couple years ago, they did a great social media type content creator panel with, like, Hillary Klug and some other big Instagram music folks.
That actually is something that I didn't think about in advance since I'm going that, wow, I should go to a panel like that. That would
Mm,
benefit me even not being a musician, just the
totally.
same similar idea,
Yeah.
how to grow
And
followers and listeners and
well, and there's plenty that because IBMA, so many people are musicians, but I would say just as many are just industry people that, they might play some, but their main job or their gig or whatever is as an industry role, whether they're a booking agent or publicist or something like that, or media like radio, podcast, journalist types, and it's equally catered to those kind of people as well. So it's really like industry spread. So I think
gotcha.
I don't
Well,
know what they're doing
I
this year,
wish
but
I
I'm sure there's a lot that would be really relevant to the podcast.
well, today's September 6th that we're
Yeah.
recording this, and I believe it just came out yesterday mid-morning, at least on Eastern time.
Okay. Yeah.
So I know it exists. It's out
Yeah.
there. It was 12 pages long.
There's a lot of them.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't had a chance to really review it, and
Yeah.
hopefully there's still spots for some that would appeal to me. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Kind of another surprise. I mean, IBMA has been
Mhm.
this onslaught of surprises from the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
first they're looking for a new place. There's all these rumors. Sounded like Cincinnati was leading the pack.
Yeah.
Nobody had even mentioned Chattanooga in the rumors.
Well, what's
And
funny
then
is with
boom,
yeah, when they moved, I
the
thought
announcement's
they
made
should
and
move
it's
to
Chattanooga.
yeah. When they announced I was at the luncheon 2 years ago and they said, "We're moving. We'll do 1 more year in Raleigh, and after that, we're moving," and I thought, "They gotta go to Knoxville or Chattanooga."
Really.
That's what I thought, I'm glad it wound up that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not complaining, but it's been
No.
surprise after surprise after surprise.
Yeah.
Of course, they announced, started leaking who was coming. They announced Allison Brown and Steve Martin handling the award ceremony.
Yeah.
Of course, Billy Strings booked a couple gigs here in
He's gonna be
Chattanooga at the
around.
same time.
Yeah.
One with Brian Sutton, one with his band,
Yeah.
and they keep leaking things. And one of the most exciting leaks, I would say, so far that came out is your most current band, Woodbox Heroes, is now being added to the Ramble schedule.
Yeah, so that was pretty last minute deal. That only happened a couple weeks ago. If you're listening now, it's yeah, September the 6th, but sometime in mid-August, well, Josh actually called me, our kind of lead guy, Josh. He called me and said, "Hey, like we might try to go down to IBMA now that it's a little closer." And I said, "Okay, well, we didn't do the application back in April because we didn't know kind of if we were going to be able to showcase and all that, but it definitely came on the table just this late this summer that it might be a good idea to go down there." And I thought, okay, well, it's kind of late, but I'll see what we can muster up. And somehow, fortunately, a ramble slot had opened up, and they were like, "Yeah, come on down."
That is awesome.
So I'm glad because it'll be this band's first time at IBMA, and I'm the only one that's really been there every year. I know Matt went with Cadillac Sky way back when it was in Nashville, and I think Janae went back then as well. But no one ever went when it was in Raleigh, and certainly haven't been there in a while, so I'm excited to get everybody down there and get this in front of all the people that'll be at IBMA.
Full disclosure,
Yeah,
I wasn't familiar with Woodbox Heroes until you joined up with them,
sure.
and I saw it on the social media, and
Yeah,
immediately I'm impressed with the clips I'm seeing on video,
yeah,
Instagram, whatever. But what immediately jumped to mind, you basically just said, yeah, this is our first time at IBMA. But
yeah.
you've played the Grand Ole Opry at least twice, if not 3 times, and I
Uh,
only just heard of
yeah.
you.
I've done it 4 times with them, and, our 4th time was just, last week. It was August the 30th, and I think that was the band's 7th time, so they've been in with the Opry quite a bit.
How long have they haven't been
Over
around that long, have
the
they?
band started in 2023, and Seth Taylor, the
Late to the
original.
party.
Yeah, well, Seth Taylor, the original mandolin player, he left, early in 2024, and that's when I came in. And, so they put out 1 album with Seth on it that came out last summer. But yeah, I mean, it's still a pretty new band, and it takes a while to get in front of
That's
all the bluegrass crowds and start getting on festivals and things. Uh,
2 years is not a long time.
no, it is not. No.
You've got a very impressive resume very quickly with that band, and what little I've heard, I mean, it's all star-studded quality.
Yeah. It's
The whole band
it's
has
a pinch me
amazing
kinda
chops.
band. Yeah. I mean, I have to pinch myself constantly being in there. If I just look over and I see Matt or Barry or Josh and Janae and hear what everybody's doing, and I'm like, "I cannot believe that I'm up here, staying with you guys." It's for Matt and Barry in particular, they were a couple of guys that when I was a teenager, they were the guys on YouTube that I was watching, and I was like, "Man, that's it. That's the best." And I've gotten to know Josh and Janae more since playing in the band, and they're 2 of the most talented, just best musicians I've ever heard or played with, and you know, 2 of the best front people as well. It's just it's unreal for me to get to play with them every night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, it's exciting that you've had this
Mm.
opportunity. It's exciting that they've kind of blasted out of nowhere. But yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was incredibly ironic that they're playing the Ramble stage, which is,
Yeah.
up and coming typically,
Sure.
yet you've already had significant experience on the Grand Ole Opry stage.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's just one of those bands that, everyone in the band is very connected. So, starting the band, it was I don't wanna say easy, easy's not the word, and I wasn't there to start the band, but, when they started the band, they kind of knew who to call, who to get in front of, and all that kinda stuff, and so it's kind of ironic some of the things that happen first and some of the things that are happening later, uh, just because it was getting on the Opry and getting the Opry's attention happened pretty quick, versus kinda getting out to the wider scene, took a little more time, 2 years, not much time, but
No, no, not
yeah.
really. I mean, I'm impressed. I believe you've got 2 set times coming up at the Ramble, and
That's right.
for my listeners who just listened to my previous episode where we went through the Ramble schedule, you've heard this before, but now front and center. So you're playing at the Banquet Hall E through J at the Conference Center,
Yeah.
1 Carter Plaza. On Tuesday the 16th, your first set is 7:40. So probably looks like a 35, maybe a 40-minute set.
I think that's right, yeah, those
Uh,
conference center sets are usually on the, you know, 45 or under kind of time span.
that's your first slot on Tuesday the 16th. Then you play again. All right, now this one's going to be an amazing. It's going to be anybody who goes to the Barrel House Ballroom Tuesday the 16th may not leave. You're playing at 10 o'clock to close out
Yeah,
Barrel
that's
House
right.
Ballroom, which is a
Yeah.
true music venue in Chattanooga, small music
Yeah.
venue where a lot of the others are in, converted rooms or bars or
Right.
restaurants. This is
Yeah.
actually a music hall, and
Yeah,
the
I saw that on
sound,
the
the
schedule and
stage.
got excited.
And now we're going to take a brief pause for a message from our sponsor.
1, 2. It's a big purchase, it's a big deal. Trevor Shaw knows exactly how you feel for refinance or a new home. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan.
Hello, I'm Trevor Shaw. I'm not just a bluegrass aficionado. I'm a bluegrass aficionado that's a mortgage loan officer at Chat Mortgage in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'd be honored for the opportunity to help you get your residential mortgage loan or refinance anywhere in Tennessee, Georgia, or Colorado. From veterans using their hard-earned benefits to first-time home buyers needing down payment assistance to retirees finally getting the home they've always dreamed of. Call or text me today at 864-50-T-SHAW. That's 864-50-T-SHAW.
It's a big purchase, it's a big deal. Trevor Shaw knows exactly how you feel for refinance or a new home. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan.
Chat Mortgage is powered by Alameda Mortgage Corporation, NMLS number 271603. Chat Mortgage is located at 6650 East Brainerd Road, Suite 208 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Phone number 423-591-9801. Trevor Shaw, NMLS number 929381. That's going to be a party at that point. People are going to be getting rowdy, ready to hoop and holler. You probably don't know this already, but has there already been talk of doing work, having guests on stage? Has anybody reached out to anybody in advance? Hey, I'd be honored to do this one song with you or something like that. Or you don't have to drop names, but I'm just wondering, is that usually
I don't know that we're doing
instigated? Or is it
Usually,
when stuff like that happens, it's like,
yeah.
hey, I bumped into you backstage. What are you doing in 10 minutes?
It's more so that, or at least like 1 or 2 days out kind of preparation.
Okay.
Because a lot of that usually comes out of convenience, seeing like, and a lot of times people just don't end up looking at the schedule until much closer, or it's something also that someone might not want to say yes to until much closer. But like our Opry appearance last weekend, we did 2 songs, and it was a great Opry night. Just the whole lineup was incredible, and Vince Gill was on that night. So the band approached Vince about sitting in for a song, and that I think that only happened, just a handful of days in advance. But just it's a great fit. But it comes from looking at the schedule and saying, hey, so and so is going to be there, and that's kind of the same thing at IBMA. I don't know that we would have any kind of sit-ins like that or anything at IBMA, just because it's those showcases you're trying to do as much as you can in a short period of time, or in a
And
limited period of
showcasing
time.
your band and your sound.
Right. Yeah, but you never know.
Yeah.
Stuff can happen. And of course, they got the big. We're not in it, but I know it's going to be a good time. The big Mountain Grass Unit after party on Saturday it sounds like that's what that's going to be like.
A big will the circle be unbroken type vibe.
Yeah,
I'm
tons
thinking.
of guests. Yeah.
But with Mountain Grass leading the charge, that's going to
Yeah.
be a high energy. That's going to be the shot in the arm we all need after 5 days of not sleeping.
Yeah.
Because it's a late start too. It's like 11 o'clock
It's
at
11
night.
p.m. at the
So
Signal. Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna need some coffee. We're gonna need that second wind that I hope they bring.
Yeah.
Now those are the 2 sets of your schedule that we talked about on Tuesday. Do you have anything on Wednesday?
No,
I didn't-
nothing on Wednesday, but then I have a set on Thursday for myself in the label suite for Mountain Fever.
Thomas Castle Band on Thursday.
Yeah, just kind of a little label party. Everything in that room is artists that are on the label, so I'm doing a little 25-minute showcase of my record that came out last year for the label on Thursday.
Yeah, we were talking when you were on the episode the first time. You were talking about the new album. You were playing a couple songs from the new album, but I think it was right before it was actually released.
Yeah,
so
it was-
the newest
it was
album,
a ways
The
out.
Never Ending Years.
Yeah, it came out October of last year, 24.
And the Thomas Castle, is it the Thomas Castle Band or just
Pretty
Thomas
much,
Castle
yeah.
or the
It's
Thomas
it's
Castle
informal,
Project? What?
but usually I call it a band. But it's usually just like, hey, let's get together and play some of these songs.
And going through the liner notes,
Oh yeah,
because I actually have the CD. I think CDs are going to make a comeback. I really do.
I hope so,
They're-
because I got a lot of them.
There.
Yeah,
I think the reason vinyl made such a big comeback was because a lot of people got rid of them.
Mhm.
They were inconvenient, but people made it an activity to sit down and listen to music. Where with digital music, you can have it going in the background, you can have
Yeah.
it going in your earbuds, you can have it going in the car, but you're not sit down to listen to music.
no,
And vinyl forced that activity to return, where it's an active experience.
yeah.
But I kind of think CDs sound better.
Oh, they do sound better in a lot of
And-
ways. They're definitely more hi-fi.
And
yeah,
it's still having something physical to hold
Yeah.
and look at. What I really like about your CD is that you didn't abandon liner notes. So
Yeah.
many CDs are now released where it's put in a sleeve, it has a little
Yeah.
bit of scribble on the back, a photo, but you've actually got a 3-page fold out
Yeah.
going through the lyrics,
I want
going
something
who
that's
wrote
worth
each
holding.
song.
Yeah. And that's kind of the stuff
Let me
I
see if
care
I can.
about when I get a record is I'm like, man, like I want to know everything about everything that's on this.
Yeah, this is substance that you don't get just streaming.
Yeah.
But you've got a stacked cast of not only
Sure.
co-writers but
Yeah.
guests that actually played.
Sure.
I mean, there's, maybe I'm reading in the wrong spot, but Bronwyn Keith Hines, Jason Carter, Guy Clark, Verlin
Mhm.
Thompson. Well, why don't you tell me? Because
Oh, sure.
I don't have my light set up here.
Well,
Missy Brains
yeah,
appears.
I made a lot of calls when we started working on that record, and that was kind of the goal. You know, I used a core band on most of the tracks. There's kind of two core bands. A few of the songs, the band is kind of a younger band. Uh, People that are a little more my generation, like Jeff Picker and Jake Stargell and Corey Walker and Jason Carter played fiddle with that band. Uh, Originally, I think I had tried to line it up where Bronwyn was going to play fiddle with that band and Jason was going to play with the other band, which was like my hero band. And it just didn't work out. So Jason's with the kind of younger cast. And then the other band also has the exception of Max Etling, one of my buddies that usually plays with my own band. He played bass kind of with the other crew. Ron Stewart played banjo. Tim Stafford played guitar. And Bronwyn played fiddle with that band. And those are kind of the core groups. And then we had a bunch of guests. A couple of the songs, Rob Ikes plays dobro. Um, let's see, Bob Minner played a second guitar on one song. Wyatt Rice played a second guitar on one song. And then a bunch of vocal guests like Ronnie McCurry, Ashby Frank.
Waiting for that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big deal.
Ronnie was great. That was, I'd known him a little bit, but I'd never done anything with him. Just said hi occasionally, and it was fun to get him in the studio and work with him on that song. He sang on two songs, and those are both just duets. They're just me and him. Some of the other ones we did three parts, like with Ashby Frank, Amanda Fields, Dale Ann Bradley, some other Becky Buller, some other singers. But the ones with Ronnie are just duets, and I was trying to go for that thing of just him and Dell. It's just like my favorite. When those two sing together, it's one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't know about any of that if it wasn't for liner notes on a
That's the
physical hard
thing,
copy CD.
I don't want to just say, "Oh, that sounds like so and so." Like I want to know the date on which that song was recorded, and I want to know. Obviously, I don't have all this because you only have so much space, but I want to know what microphones they used, and I want to know what studio they were at, all this kind of stuff. And you just don't get any of that anymore. I mean, you barely can get who played on it nowadays.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and actually, I made a point with my website. I don't know if anyone benefits this or if it's just my own peace of mind, but every record I've put out on my website, I have full credits listed on there. So you can see all the co-writers, all the track credits, all the, production credits, everything like that. Because it's,
I
that
assume
stuff's
that's
important.
thomascastle.com.
Yeah. But,
And we can get all the
that's-
merchandise. Not
that
that you
stuff's-
have time between now and IBMA to deal with a bunch
Sure.
of merch orders, but
Yeah.
you
Well,
can
actually,
you can
I
handle some.
do. I've got some
Okay.
new T-shirts that'll be in today, so they'll be live on the website by the time you hear this. So
Awesome.
yeah,
And of course, we can get the album and the previous
you can.
albums as well.
Yeah, you can get
on,
anything
on,
I
on
got.
compact disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. So you're done with responsibilities after Tuesday at the IBMA.
Pretty much.
Well, no, you've got your
we'll
your
have some
one,
business stuff during the days, but Wednesday we don't play, and then I have my show Thursday
and you've
night.
got the label party.
Yeah.
Does the label party, is that really work, or is that I'm going to go show and just play for 20 minutes? Which I guess is work.
It's
You're a
both. Yeah, I
professional
mean
musician.
it's
Yeah.
but it's like it's not my regular band. It's some other folks that I called just because not everyone was going to be there on that day. So it's going to be more fun. It's going to be us jamming, hopefully at a high, tight level. Hopefully at a level that you could put in front of people. But it's going to be us kind of jamming and this lineup of who I got for that showcase playing for the first time as a unit. So It'll be fun. I'm
Well,
looking forward to it.
who as a fan
Yeah.
are you most excited to see? Or maybe more than one? Who?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
obviously there's more bands you can shake a stick at. There's going to be FOMO throughout the week. You can't be everywhere all at
Yeah.
once.
Well, during the week, probably one of my favorite mandolin players and just cool songwriter, just cool. He's just got a cool vibe, and I like his music. Michael Pruitt and Crunchgrass Supreme. I'm really stoked to
Grass
see.
Supreme.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see Michael play at IBMA on the showcases. Mason Vi's new record is really incredible. I'm excited to hear him play some of that live, and those are during the week. But I'm really excited. I am going to go back down because Woodbox here is we come back and play at the Station Inn on Friday night, the 19th.
Okay.
But Saturday I'm coming back and I'm going to play at the Mandolin Workshop. So I'm going to be around Saturday,
nice.
in which case I'm excited. I'm going to go to the Mountain Grass Unit show. So I'm really excited for that.
When they play the main stage that night too, I think, don't they?
Maybe
No,
so. I
they
haven't.
do
I
not. They're
honestly
in the
haven't
Ramble,
looked
and
at
then
the Street Fest.
they play. Yeah, Saturday they've got a set at Miller Plaza from 5:50 to 6:50. So
Okay, cool.
and then they do
Yeah.
the closing ceremonies starting at 11. So
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah, they
definitely
get a
get a
good
chance
break.
to see another set of
Yeah.
theirs.
Nice.
And they're on the Ramble schedule. That you might have a conflict. They're playing on
Oh,
the
yeah.
Ramble schedule.
Yeah.
No, on Wednesday. So you'll be
Oh,
there.
cool. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Unless you're going to Billy Strings.
I don't think I am. So yeah. Unless
Yeah, you'll
somebody
get to see.
unless somebody puts a ticket in my pocket. But
Well, all right. You're
yeah.
not. I can tell you what your schedule is on Wednesday. You will
Yeah.
not want to move. You want to get to the Comedy Catch early because
Okay.
it's, from what I've been told, we talked about the other day. The Comedy Catch is not. It's more of a listening room. It's
Yeah.
75,
Oh, cool.
maybe 100 people
Nice.
tops.
Yeah.
But at 7:00, you've got Mountain Grass Unit. You'll never see them play in a small
Nope.
room like that.
Even now,
again.
I mean, outside of somewhere like IBMA, you wouldn't see them play in a room like that. You
No,
know?
this is
Yeah.
your last chance. Then 8:00, Foggy Mountain Spaceship, but then 9:00, Michael Pruitt, Crunchgrass Supreme.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Might just park
So-
there for the night.
Because if you give up your seat, you're not getting it back.
No. Not in there. No.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to interrupt. If there was
No.
any others you
No,
wanted to
I think that's
speak,
pretty
that
much
was-
it. It's like you kind of just have to choose a couple things. It's hard to, I've done years where I've milled around, but, and maybe this year will be different since I have no responsibilities, especially on Wednesday. Like Wednesday night, I can go see people play. But historically, it's been, I'll have a showcase here and there, so really I can catch something if it's convenient. But in past years, I've really missed out on a lot just because I was playing so much. I mean, there have been years where I played 15 to 20 showcases throughout the week. And they're all 25 to 45 minutes. So it's not like I played 25 shows, but they're showcases.
But that's literally going stage to stage to
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah, you'll do 3 or 4
You're
in a
never even
night.
putting the mandolin back in the case.
No, I mean, you just walk around with it. But this year's is nice because I'll have some good chunks of time to go check things out and mill around and hear people, which is always good.
This is my first one. I'm way
Yeah.
excited. Like you mentioned early on, Raleigh, even though North Carolina is a neighboring state to Tennessee, it's like a 9-hour drive.
It's a ways. Plus, IBMA was always competing with
Maybe 8.
for you with Three Sisters Festival.
Yes.
It was often the same weekend, so it's like, okay, could go to IBMA, but I also have this really amazing bluegrass festival for free at home at the same time.
Yeah, and lately that's been competing with Cave Fest. They've
Oh,
been
right,
bouncing around
yeah.
on the same weekend
October,
too.
Yeah.
And one of our favorite things to talk about
Yeah.
in a non-music capacity is we're both huge baseball fans.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always been smack in the middle of postseason
Yep.
baseball.
October baseball.
And if
yeah.
the Cubs are in the postseason,
Yeah.
I have a hard time
Yeah.
getting checked out.
Yep. Yeah. No, I know it'll be an easy October
And,
for me as a Braves fan.
Yeah.
But,
Well, sorry.
no, it's we'll get there again at some point. No, Cubs almost swept the Braves this week.
Now, speaking of postseason, what about post IBMA for Thomas
Yeah.
Cassell and the Woodbox Heroes? And what do you got going on for the remainder of the year? that you can talk about or that you're excited about? Just tell us
Yeah.
what's coming down the pike.
Well, one of the first things that I'm getting back to after IBMA, other than the Station Inn, which is during IBMA, but I'm actually going to be emceeing a festival down in Cottonwood, Alabama, the Mayhem Music Festival. I'm going to be playing a short set as a duo with my buddy Nick Weizenfeld, mandolin guitar duo, and then I'll be emceeing the festival all day. That's down in kind of South
How does
Alabama
that
near
come about?
Dothan. Just the guy that runs Common Loon Records, Justin Stickler, and it's his festival. This will be the second year, and we just been talking, and he asked about getting me down there, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to come down and play. And he also said, okay, here's a slot for you to play, but would you be interested in emceeing as well? And I was like, I've never done that, but sure, I'll give it a shot. So yeah, that'll be
Take
fun.
good notes.
Yeah, that's right. But it's a good lineup. A bunch of buddies of mine, like Michael Pruitt and Crunchgrass Supreme, they're going to be there. The Stillhouse Junkies will be there. Junior Sisk and definitely a few other bands that I can't remember who all was there off the top of my head. It's going to be a good time. So I'm doing that. That's on October the 4th in Cottonwood, Alabama, down near Dothan, kind of southeast Alabama.
Awesome.
And after that, we go out for a handful of shows with Woodbox Heroes. We're going to be at Romptoberfest in Owensboro. We'll be at Blue Highway Fest in Big Stone Gap, Virginia, which is where I'm from. We'll be at Manteo, North Carolina, the Bluegrass Island Music Festival. And then we'll be in the Norofest in Scottsville, Kentucky, which is near Nashville. So we have a bunch of back-to-back festivals in October.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be our first shows
Anything-
with Barry Bales back. He's been out with Alison Krauss and Union Station all year playing bass since April, and we've had a great time. Byron House has been filling in on bass, which has been incredible. But it'll be really exciting to be playing with Barry again.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it. Any New Year's plans or
No, not off the top of my
nothing
head.
that you're aware of?
It's been a few years since I've actually played a New Year's show, believe it or not. But they're always fun. But yeah, nothing has come up for this year. But there's some fun stuff coming. I mean, Woodbox Heroes have a new record kind of in the can. I've been working on another kind of a solo record of some duets with some different guitar players and things, which has been fun. So no telling when any of these will hit the public, but it's been fun to work on them.
Really looking forward to seeing what's coming down the pike. I'm really excited to see the Woodbox Heroes for the first time
I'm
coming up at IBMA.
For you to be there.
Certainly, we're going to be hopefully sending some people to your website, pick up your CD, buy tickets, support local music. What an exciting time to be a bluegrass fan right now. There's so much cool stuff going on, and the growth of the industry as a whole. And I'm honored that I got to share my second return guest interview ever with you. And we just bright future. Ready to run.
I'm excited. Lots of fun things happening. Yeah.
Well, Thomas, thank you so much, and I will see you really next week. Yeah. It's right around the corner.
In a little bit over a week, but just barely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Thomas.
All right.
I think it's safe to say the musicians are as excited about the IBMA as I am at this point. The musicians participating, attending, both as fans and as professionals. What a giddy week to be a bluegrass fan. That I'm going to be taking it all in. I've got friends coming from out of town. I've got my birthday. It's just going to be an amazing week. So make sure to come back next Wednesday, September 17th, where I drop my next episode, my final episode of the IBMA Focus coming up. And then the week after, the 24th, I'm going to take that week off because re-entry is hard. Need to recover from IBMA. But that's why I had a extra episode. If you haven't listened to the episodes leading up to now and you are on the fence about going to the IBMA, I'm certain if you listen to my this whole season practically, you'll be convinced. If you're not convinced, you're probably not a bluegrass lover, or you just can't make it to Chattanooga for whatever reason. September 16th through the 20th, it's going to be the time of a bluegrass fan's life. And I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone you may know that might enjoy T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass. And I'm a mortgage lender, in Colorado, Tennessee, and Georgia. If you got any friends, family, or yourself have any mortgage needs in those 3 states, give me a call. I'll be happy to help out. 864-50-T-SHAW. That's 864-50-T-SHAW. And if you stick around for just one more quick moment, there'll be a message from me as a sponsor. Thanks so much. Thanks again for tuning in to T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass.
1, 2. It's a big purchase, it's a big deal. Trevor Shaw knows exactly how you feel for refinance or a new home. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan.
Hello, I'm Trevor Shaw. I'm not just a bluegrass aficionado. I'm a bluegrass aficionado that's a mortgage loan officer at Chat Mortgage in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'd be honored for the opportunity to help you get your residential mortgage loan or refinance anywhere in Tennessee, Georgia, or Colorado. From veterans using their hard-earned benefits to first-time home buyers needing down payment assistance to retirees finally getting the home they've always dreamed of. Call or text me today at 864-50-T-SHAW. That's 864-50-T-SHAW.
It's a big purchase, it's a big deal. Trevor Shaw knows exactly how you feel for refinance or a new home. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan.
Chat Mortgage is powered by Alameda Mortgage Corporation, NMLS number 271603. Chat Mortgage is located at 6650 East Brainerd Road, Suite 208 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Phone number 423-591-9801. Trevor Shaw, NMLS number 92938.